Silent Hill 2, developed and released in 2001 by Konami, was arguably one of the most skillfully written horror video games ever developed or even conceived for any video game based console. When it was first released, gamers at the time who played it remarked about the experience that it gave them, and for many who played it, when remembering their experiences with the game, and even for the industry standards, it remade what it is to play and to even experience a horror-based game. Prior to Silent Hill 2, horror video games were more basic, especially Western-released games. The aspect of horror was constant, but nothing psychological besides a few other examples in the late 1990s up until Silent Hill 2. Video games would often have characters introduced to help build up story plot about the game, to better immerse players in understanding the situation that the characters found themselves in. Throughout the game, James searched through the hellish Silent Hill looking for his wife Mary, and as the game progressed, the situation seemed stable with James and the town of Silent Hill, but as the story progressed, this changed. Due to the constant aspect of death and fear all around him, there was nothing stable in the game at all for the players to hold on to or experience while controlling in relation to other characters around James. Up until James and Maria attempted to escape from Brookhaven Hospital, everything was horrific, but when Pyramid Head quote-unquote killed Maria for the first time in the game, that was a monumental moment in the game because it seriously made the player realize, or lack of realization, about what is real and what is lies in the game, what is deceit and what is fact. Nothing was fact, and when players commented about their experiences, it was utter disbelief and the realization that in-game, when James left the hospital after the death of Maria, even he wonders if he'll get out of Silent Hill alive, or that he will die in the town as a sort of divine punishment for what he did to Mary. This made players realize that anything could happen. It's also a fact that from then onwards in the game, it becomes extraordinarily gory and unforgiving, from the environmental scenery and intensity of the monsters that James encounters as well. The psychological suspense and terror from the game made it unsure for the player to understand and conceive as to what is real and what is illusion, for James to endure and for the player to experience. This intensified later in the game when James comes across Maria in the jail cell, and she pretends that everything is fine, and even suggests intimacy with James when he comes to rescue her. But when he does find her, she's dead once again, and any security he once had is gone, and any assurance that the player had playing throughout the game was once again shattered with her second death. Finally, right before the end of the game, James encounters Maria for a third time and is unable to do anything as the Pyramid Heads kill Maria. Through events in the story, James mentions that he's done running away from the truth and realizing what he has done. However, most players did not actually understand the meaning of these deaths of Maria until the game is completed and the situation of Mary's death is made known to the player, as up until that point it was unknown. The shocking deaths of Maria just intensified the reasons for her first death, because from that helplessness that James felt, what he was consistently going through throughout the entire game, from his in-game thoughts and dialogue, and to the tone of the gaming experience. Due to the sheer amount of psychological horror, it's undoubtedly known that the first death of Maria in Silent Hill 2, if we can even call something like that a death, due to Maria being a manifestation of James's wife Mary from his subconsciousness. There are various theories as to the meanings of Mary's deaths, but the first death is a monumental moment in video games.